So the first one I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at lithium 6. So if I look at lithium, what do I know about lithium? Well, lithium does this here. Here's lithium right here, right? This is lithium. So right away, when I look at this number here, note that this is lithium 7. I'm not looking at lithium 7, I'm looking at lithium 6. But the reason why I put this in here is because if I have 6 lithium, then I see that there's 3. So when I look at this, I see that there are 3 neutrons, and I see that there are 3 protons. So the first thing that this tells me here is that right away, this immediately tells me that there are 6 trapped nucleons, right, in the nucleus. And as a consequence, the binding energy for lithium cannot be 0. It was that way for hydrogen, but it can't be that way for lithium here. So the question is, what does this mean picture-wise? Well, the way we look at it is we look at it like this. We have a nucleus. We have 6 protons, and we have 6 neutrons. They're trapped within the nucleus. So the question is, what does the binding energy per nucleon curve look like? So let's go up and look at lithium now. Look at lithium. Right here, what you're seeing here is that this is lithium 6 right there. Okay, so this guy right here is lithium 6. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm not going to draw it right where lithium 6 is because it's going to be hard to see. So I'm going to do here is that I'm going to translate it to right there. So what do I have when I look at this guy? Well, I have a well. What do I mean I have a well? So I'm going to go and draw this. So if I draw this, look at, there's the 0 point, right? So when I look at this guy, I have a well that's going to look like this. I draw it all the way down. And I say, yep, here's my lithium right here. So this is my lithium well. Then the question is, how far is it in there? And what you're seeing here is that I'm going to say that the depth of this guy, I'm going to look at the number to the side here. So when I look at the depth of this guy, what I'm seeing here is that the distance as I go from here to here, I'm finding here is that this binding energy of lithium 6 has a value that's about minus 5.5. Now there are some units which are called MeVs, but I'm not going to worry about the units because we're going to look at relative quantities. Okay, we're going to look at relative quantities. So the binding energy tells us how strongly are these nuclei held. So if I come down to here and I says, what does it mean to be a nucleon trapped in lithium? Well, it's this. I have a little well. And when I look at this little well, I know that in here, I have a trapped nucleon. And there's the trapped nucleon right there. So when I look at the depth of this well, so to be a nucleon, it means here that it has, that if you want to make it escape, pull it out of the nucleon, out of the nucleus, you need about 5.5 MeVs of energy. Now remember, those units of energy don't mean anything, but that's what it means. Now, I can't really compare this yet until we get to some of these other nuclei. And so what I'm going to do here is that the thing that I realized that I didn't get the image for iron. So I got to go get that image. I thought I was better prepared. My apologies. So let me go get iron. So here's iron. And so if I now put iron in here, and these only make sense if you compare them. It doesn't make any sense if you don't compare them. Okay, so now we look at iron, and what are we looking at? We're looking at iron 56, and this is iron 56. So if I look at iron 56, I got 56, and you can see that this guy is 26. So now let's look at the numbers. I have 30, and then I have 26 protons. So that means that in this nucleus, we have what? We have 56 trapped nucleons. So if I have 56 trapped nucleons, what does this mean? Picture-wise, at least. So the picture that we see is that it's got to look something like this here. All right. So when I go and I look at this thing, it then says that I have a nuclei, and I'm not going to draw all 56 of these, of course, but we got a whole bunch of nucleons in here. So if you're a nucleon trapped within this nucleus, a better picture and a more correct picture is not to draw it this way, because remember I said this is a bad model. The good model tells us that we got to do what? We have to go up and look at this curve. So here's the curve. Look at iron. Iron 56 is where? It's right here. That's iron 56 right here. So what does it mean to be an iron atom? So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw a well again. And so when I'm looking at this well, you're seeing here is that this is clearly a deeper well. Right? That is clearly a deeper well. So when I look at the binding energy of 56 iron, and I look at the numbers, what I'm actually seeing here is that it turns out that it's more than 9. But if you look up the number is actually 9.3 mega electron volts. So what does that mean? Well, if I look at this thing here and I compare the well, so this guy is not very deep for lithium because it's only 2 squares, but this guy is at least twice the depth. So it's almost, you could say here, as you could see, that this lithium, this binding energy from here to here is twice as deep. In other words, when I look at iron 56, it has a very, very deep well. So if I look at my nucleon that's trapped in this well, you're seeing here that this is more tightly bounded. So now what we can do here is that we can compare the lithium well to the iron well. So let's look at this thing here. So the first thing that I would see here is that I would see this. This guy has what? It has less binding energy per nucleon. So therefore, it has a shallow well. So therefore, this tells me that it's not tightly bound. But if I look at iron, we can clearly see that this has, how do I say this? It has a higher binding energy per nucleon. So this actually has one of the deepest wells. Why is it one of the deepest? Because look, it's all the way at the bottom. It's close to the deepest. And you're going to see that iron 56 is the one that people mostly talk about. But I'll change a little bit about what I said here. And so this means that this is very tightly bound. And that's because I'm comparing the deepness of the wells. And so what you find here is that I should really make a comment about iron 56. And what you're going to find out here is that that the nuclei with the three highest binding energy per nucleon values are, check this out, the binding energy, the tightest nuclei is actually nickel. But there's an issue. Nickel 62 is actually rare when it comes to, things that happen in nature. And then there's another one. There's iron 58. Again, this is not as common. But when you see what happens most often here is when you look at iron 56. So iron 56 is not the highest binding energy, right? This is the third highest. However, I didn't spell however right. It turns out that in nature, nickel 62 and iron 58 do not occur so much. You know what? I got to move this down. In the nuclear reactions, we will study. So yes, nickel has the highest binding energy. Yes, iron 58 is there. But because iron 56 is more common in nuclear reactions, what we find here is that most people state that iron 56 has the highest binding energy per nucleon. Is it true? It's not true. But because iron 56 occurs more often, then that's really what we're talking about right there. I know it sounds kind of odd, but it's really not. Because when you got to consider the situations that occur. Now we got to look at the next one. Now the next one, so the key thing about lithium, right? Lithium is where? It's to the left. Iron is right in the middle. Now we're going to go after uranium. So here we go. So let's put in uranium. So here's uranium. So if I look at uranium, what do I know about uranium? Well, the numbers tell us this here, that this is 238.92 uranium. And so when I look at this guy, this tells me this has 146 neutrons. This has 92 protons. I mean, so this guy really has a lot of stuff in there. So again, following the same discussion as we did before, I could draw a picture of the nucleus like this, but that's not the way people look at it. So so this tells us here, right? This tells us here that we have 238 trapped nucleons in the nucleus. So again, we look at this picture here of this nucleus, and again, I could do all of these things that, that we want to go and do here, But that's not the way we envision the nucleus. So we come back here and we go like, this is a bad model. The right model is given by this picture here. So let's go look at where 238 is at. So when I go and I look at 238, look at that, it's right there. You could see that it's to the right. So now look what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw my well. So if I draw my well, it's going to come all the way down here. And that means that a nucleon of uranium is like this. So when you look at the value for uranium, it's actually about 7.5. So now if I come over here, I'm going to say, yep, the binding energy for 238 uranium is about minus 7.5 MeVs. So that's what it says. So the question is, how do we draw a picture of the nucleus? Is that we don't draw it like this. We then start to we redraw this in such a way where we say, okay, so this is a better picture of the nucleus right here, because it takes my nucleon and it traps it into this well. And how deep is this well? Well, for 238, a nucleon is about minus 7.5 MeVs. So when I look at them, you can compare this to the iron one, right? The uranium is less tightly bound, whereas the iron is more tightly bound. And you could see that in this case, lithium, it would be easier to take a nucleon out of lithium than it is to take one out of uranium. So that is, in a nutshell, what this curve is telling us. But we still got to go through a lot more details here.